There comes a moment in life when the silence of others speaks louder than their words. When someone you love, someone you trust, someone you thought valued you suddenly ignores you, it cuts deep. That silence feels like rejection, like abandonment, like you're invisible. Hear me today. It's not just pain, it's a sign. Sometimes the people who walk away, the people who stop calling, the people who stop noticing you, are being used as divine instruments to show you the truth. Their absence is not always a loss. Often, it is a revelation. What hurts today may be the very thing that saves you tomorrow. When you are ignored, don't let it break your spirit. Don't waste your nights questioning your worth, asking why they didn't see your value. Their silence is telling you something. It is revealing where loyalty was never rooted, where love was never genuine, and where your energy no longer belongs. The hurt is real, but it is also holy. It shifts your eyes from who left to who remains. It teaches you that not everyone is assigned to your destiny. If they can overlook you, if they can dismiss you, if they can live without you, then maybe they were never meant to walk with you. Sometimes God allows you to be ignored so that you can finally see yourself. Because as long as you are waiting for their validation, you will never embrace your true identity. Their silence is pushing you into strength. Their absence is pushing you into clarity. Their rejection is pushing you into a higher version of yourself. So don't just cry because they don't see you anymore. Rise because now you finally see yourself. Don't beg for their attention. Give yourself attention. Chase what walked away. Cherish what remains. And most of all, don't curse the hurt because the hurt was a sign. Silence has a voice. It is not empty, it is not meaningless, and it is not without power. Many times in life, we become so accustomed to the sound of words, constant chatter of people's opinions, and the noise of the world that we overlook the undeniable message that silence carries. When someone ignores you, they stop speaking. When their absence fills the space where their presence used to be, it hurts. But that silence is not just a void. It is a revelation. Silence speaks truth, and sometimes it tells you more than words ever could. Think about it. When someone values you, you know it. They don't just say it, they show it in their actions, in their consistency, in their willingness to stand with you. But when someone ignores you, when they withdraw, when they leave your text unanswered and your presence unacknowledged, their silence becomes a mirror reflecting their true heart. Silence strips away the illusions that words can create. Words can flatter, words can deceive, words can be spoken out of obligation. But silence rarely lies. We live in a time where noise is constant. Social media fills our days with voices, television shouts opinions. Even our inner thoughts can become loud with worry and doubt. But when silence shows up, when someone refuses to give you what you expect, when their quietness replaces the reassurance you once leaned on, it forces you to see the truth that you might have been trying to ignore. Silence reveals priorities. Silence shows you where you stand in the life of another. And sometimes silence tells you everything you need to know about a relationship, a friendship, or a connection. Yes, it hurts. There is no denying the sting of being ignored. To give someone your time, your care, your heart, and then be met with silence, it feels like rejection. It feels like abandonment. But if you look deeper, if you allow yourself to step back, you will discover that silence is also protection. The truth it reveals may not be what you wanted, but it may be exactly what you needed. Sometimes words could keep you in a false hope, but silence will free you from illusions. Silence says they were not who you thought they were. Silence says their loyalty was never as strong as you imagined. Silence says they may have been in your life for a season, but not for your destiny. Silence teaches us resilience. When the voices you depended on fall quiet, you are pushed to find your own strength. When people stop answering, you are reminded that you have the power to answer yourself. When the crowd stops cheering, you learn to walk with confidence even when no one is clapping. Silence teaches you to listen to the inner voice that often gets drowned out in the noise of others. That voice says, you are still valuable, you are still chosen. You are still worthy, no matter who refuses to acknowledge. Some of the greatest truths you will ever learn about life and people are not taught in their words, but in their silence. A person who truly loves you who truly cares will not stay silent when you are hurting, will not ignore you when you are present, and will not vanish when you need them most. Their silence is consistent. If their absence becomes their answer, then that is the truth. And as painful as it is, better to know the truth than to live in a lie. Silence also has the power to shift your perspective. Instead of asking, why are they ignoring me? The better question might be, what is their silence teaching me about myself? Maybe it is showing you that you have been giving too much to someone who gave too little in return. Maybe it is reminding you that you deserve reciprocity, respect, and attention, not neglect. Maybe it is telling you that your energy is too precious to be wasted on people who don't see your worth. Their silence redirects your focus away from chasing them and toward discovering yourself. Even in spiritual terms, silence is not empty. Sometimes people's silence is a way of God protecting you from relationships that would destroy you. Their silence is a shield keeping you from betrayal, heartbreak, or wasted years. Their silence is divine direction, because if they can ignore you now, when you are present, when you are loving, when you are faithful, what would they do later when life tests you? If they cannot stand with you in the ordinary, they will not be able to stand with you in the extraordinary. Their silence is not just an ending. It is a warning, a revelation, and ultimately a blessing. Silence is also an invitation to grow, to heal, and to build strength that does not depend on the applause or validation of others. It is an invitation to find peace within yourself, to recognize that you are not defined by who notices you, but by the truth of who you are. Silence invites you to mature, to let go of what does not serve you, and to embrace what lies ahead. So when silence enters your life, don't rush to fill it with noise. Don't chase after explanations from people who have already told you the truth by ignoring you. Don't beg for clarity from someone whose absence is the answer. Instead, lean into the silence. Hear its message. Accept its truth. Because silence does not come to confuse you. It comes to free you. Yes, silence speaks truth. It may not be the truth you wanted, but it is always the truth you needed. When someone ignores you, it does not mean you are worthless. It does not mean you are unlovable. It does not mean you are forgotten. It simply means they were not meant to carry the weight of your destiny. Their silence is the confirmation that you are being shifted into something greater. So wipe your tears, lift your head, let their silence guide you into strength. Let it strip away false connections. Let it sharpen your discernment. Let it draw you closer to the ones who truly see you. Because when the wrong people grow silent, the right ones can finally be heard. When someone you love, someone you trusted, someone you built your world around suddenly disappears, it feels like a storm tearing through your heart. You replay the moments, you question yourself, you wonder what you did wrong. Their absence feels like rejection, like betrayal, like abandonment. And yet, beneath the ache and the unanswered questions, there lies a deeper truth. Absence is not always punishment. Sometimes absence is protection. We often see absence as loss. We mourn when people walk away. We grieve when they stop showing up. We feel wounded when the seat they once filled is suddenly empty. But what if that emptiness is the very thing saving you? What if the absence that feels unbearable today is keeping you from a greater heartbreak tomorrow? Not all departures are disasters. Some are divine deliverance. There are people who, if they had stayed, would have delayed your growth. There are relationships that, if they had continued, would have broken your spirit. There are connections that, if they had remained, would have drained your joy, your energy, and your purpose. Their absence, though painful, is often the shield that keeps you from battles you were never meant to fight. It is protection from wounds you cannot see yet. We don't always notice the danger when we are in the middle of love, friendship, or loyalty. Our hearts can be blind, our hope can be strong, and our need for belonging can convince us that someone is meant to stay. But time and truth always tell the story. When someone walks away, when they cut ties, when they leave without explanation, it may hurt, but it is also healing in disguise. Their absence reveals that they could not carry the weight of your destiny. Absence is proof that they were not equipped to handle the journey that lies ahead. Absence teaches us to see beyond the surface. Many times we only look at what we lost, the phone calls that no longer come, the conversations that ended, the laughter that faded. But what about the peace that arrived afterward? What about the clarity that came once the noise was gone? What about the strength you found when you were no longer leaning on the wrong people? Absence clears the clutter. It strips away what distracts you, leaving only what is real, what is stable, and what is aligned with your purpose. It takes courage to embrace absence as protection, because the heart naturally longs for presence, for connection, for companionship. But sometimes presence is toxic and absence is mercy. Sometimes being surrounded by the wrong people is more dangerous than walking alone. It is better to face silence than to be smothered by voices that don't truly care. It is better to walk an empty road than to be led astray by company that does not share your vision. Absence is also preparation. When someone leaves, a door closes. When a relationship ends, it creates a space. And that space, as empty as it may feel, is sacred. It is an opening for growth. It is a chance to heal, to reflect, and to realign your heart. Absence prepares you for better connections, stronger relationships, and deeper bonds. What feels like a void is actually making room for what is greater. Think of it this way: if your hands are full of what is harmful, how can you receive what is healing? If your arms are clinging to what is temporary, how can you embrace what is eternal? If your heart is holding on to what is shallow, how can you welcome what is deep? Absence removes what is not meant for you so that your hands, your arms, and your heart are open for what is truly designed for your life. Even spiritually, absence carries purpose. There are seasons when God will allow people to leave, not because you are unworthy, but because He knows what you cannot see. He knows the conversations behind your back, the intentions in their heart, the weakness in their loyalty. You may cry over their absence. He knows their presence would have broken you. Their leaving is not betrayal, it is divine protection. Their absence is God's way of saying, this one cannot go with you. And sometimes it's not just about people. Absence can also mean the loss of opportunities, the closing of doors, the ending of seasons. That job you didn't get, that dream that didn't unfold, that plan that fell apart. It may look like rejection. It could very well be protection, because sometimes what we thought we wanted is far less than what we truly need. Sometimes what we thought was the best for us would have destroyed us if it had worked out. Absence clears the path so that purpose can be fulfilled. Absence is painful, yes, but pain is not the enemy. Pain is the messenger. It tells you where to look, what to release, and how to grow. Pain in absence tells you that you love deeply, that you care genuinely, and that you invested yourself. But it also tells you that you survived. You are still here. You are still moving forward. You are still rising even when what you thought you needed is no longer with you. The greatest lesson absence teaches is that you are stronger than you believed. You thought you needed them, but you didn't. You thought you couldn't survive without them, but you did. You thought your world would collapse when they left, but here you are, standing, breathing, discovering new strength within yourself. Absence protects you by forcing you to rely not on others, but on the resilience that was already inside you. So, absence comes, do not curse it. Do not spend your nights replaying the goodbyes or chasing after those who walked away. Instead, look at absence as the silent guardian of your soul. Look at absence as the unseen hand of God pulling you away from danger, guiding you toward destiny, shaping you for something greater. So lift your head, dry your tears, and walk forward with confidence. What left was not meant to destroy you. What left was not meant to define you. What left was only making room for what's coming. And what's coming is stronger, truer, greater than anything you lost. Life has a way of testing you. People have a way of overlooking you. Circumstances have a way of making you doubt yourself. And if you are not careful, the whispers of rejection, the sting of betrayal, the silence of being ignored will push you into a dangerous place, a place where you start questioning your worth. But let me tell you today, don't question your worth. Your worth is not tied to who stays or who leaves. Your worth is not defined by who applauds you or who ignores you. Your worth is not measured by the opinions of others, the labels society throws at you, or the temporary setbacks you face. Your worth is eternal, unshakable, undeniable. You were valuable the day you were born, and you will remain valuable no matter what people say, no matter what opportunities slip away, no matter how life tries to convince you otherwise. When someone ignores you, it's easy to assume that you're not enough. When someone leaves without explanation, it's tempting to believe that you're unlovable. When you're overlooked for a promotion, passed by for recognition, or left standing in the shadows while others shine, the thought creeps into me. Maybe I don't matter as much as I thought. Here's the truth. You matter whether or not they see it. Your worth does not shrink when people fail to notice you. Their blindness does not cancel your brilliance. Their silence does not erase your significance. The danger of questioning your worth is that it opens the door to compromise. When you forget who you are, you start settling for less than you deserve. You start clinging to people who mistreat you. You start chasing validation from people who could never give it. You start lowering your standards, silencing your voice, and dimming your light, all because you've convinced yourself that maybe you're not as worthy as you thought. When you know your worth, you refuse to shrink to fit into spaces that can't contain you. When you know your worth, you stop begging for attention and start attracting what belongs to you. You must remember, people's treatment of you says more about them than it does about you. If they fail to honor you, it doesn't mean you are dishonorable. If they fail to see your value, it doesn't mean you are worthless. If they walk away, it doesn't mean you are unlovable. It simply means they were not equipped to carry the treasure that you are. Diamonds don't lose their value when someone walks past them on the street. Gold doesn't stop being precious because someone ignores it on the shelf. And you don't lose your worth just because someone failed to recognize it. When life disappoints you, don't let it diminish you. When people overlook you, don't let it define you. When rejection stings, don't let it rewrite your identity. Your worth is not up for debate. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You carry gifts, talents, and qualities that no one else can duplicate. You bring something to the table that the world desperately needs. And even if every voice around you goes silent, you must be the voice that declares, I am worthy, I am valuable, I am enough. There will always be moments that test this truth. Someone will say something cruel. Someone will walk away. Someone will betray your trust. Life will hand you losses, setbacks, and disappointments. But in those moments, the temptation comes to question your worth. You must remind yourself that external events do not change internal value. A 100 bill is still worth 100s, whether it's wrinkled, stepped on, or overlooked. In the same way, you are still priceless, even if life has crumpled you with trials. Even if people have stepped on your heart, even if others have overlooked your potential, you are still you, and that is still enough. Don't question your worth just because others can't see it. Think about how many times people didn't see the greatness in someone until much later. History is full of stories of people who were ignored, rejected, or doubted, yet they rose to heights no one expected. They didn't rise because others believed in them. They rose because they believed in themselves. You don't need the world to agree with your worth. You just need to stop disagreeing with it yourself. Knowing your worth changes how you walk through life. When you know your worth, you no longer chase people, you attract them. When you know your worth, you no longer tolerate disrespect, you command respect. When you know your worth, you no longer settle for survival, you pursue abundance. Knowing your worth is the foundation of everything else in your life. Because if you see yourself as unworthy, you will accept things that diminish you. But when you see yourself as worthy, you will only accept what honors you. The hardest part is this: you must hold on to your worth even in silence. Even when no one applauds, no one notices, no one affirms you, you must still believe in yourself. Because the truth is, the crowd is not always right. The masses do not always see clearly. And the silence of others may only mean you are ahead of your time. Don't let the absence of their validation rob you of your own confidence. And if you ever need proof of your worth, look at your survival. Look at the storms you've endured, the heartbreaks you've survived, the disappointments you've risen from. Look at how you kept going when you thought you couldn't. Look at how you smiled again after crying, how you stood again after falling, how you dreamed again after losing. That resilience is proof of your worth. That strength is the evidence. You are not ordinary. You are extraordinary, and you must never forget it. So stop asking, why didn't they choose me? And start declaring, I am still chosen. Stop asking, why didn't they love me? And start affirming, I am still lovable. Stop asking, why didn't they see me? And start proclaiming, I see myself and I am enough. Your worth is not in question. Your worth is not negotiable. Your worth is not conditional. Don't hand over the power of your identity to people who don't even know their own. Don't let their blindness make you doubt your brilliance. And don't ever let rejection trick you into rejecting yourself. Life is full of moments that pull at our attention. Heartbreaks, disappointments, betrayals, and losses have a way of consuming our minds. When someone walks away, when someone ignores us, when life doesn't go as planned, it's natural to fix our eyes on what we lost. We replay the conversations, we analyze the silence, we ask questions with no answers. And before we know it, we've given all our energy to what left, while what remains goes unnoticed. Hear this clearly, your healing, your strength, your future begins when you shift your focus. Focus is powerful. Whatever you fix your eyes on, your heart begins to follow. If you dwell on the rejection, you will feel rejected. If you replay the betrayal, you will live in bitterness. If you magnify the problem will feel bigger than your peace. If you shift your focus, if you turn away from what you cannot control and begin to see what you still have, you will find strength you didn't know you had. Shifting your focus does not mean the pain isn't real. It doesn't mean the hurt didn't happen. It doesn't mean you deny the loss. What it means is this: you refuse to let the pain have the final say. You refuse to let the loss define your life. You refuse to let the silence of others drown out the song of your own soul. Shifting your focus is a choice to no longer stare at the closed door, to look for the open one waiting ahead. Think about it, the more you stare at what's gone, the more you miss what's growing. The more you cling to who left, the more you ignore who stayed. The more you obsess over the opportunity that slipped away, the more you blind yourself to the doors that are opening in front of you. Focus is not just about eyesight, it's about insight. And insight tells you that not everything lost was meant to be found, not everyone gone was meant to stay, and not every closed chapter deserves to be reread. When you shift your focus, you reclaim your power, because the truth is you cannot control people's actions, but you can control your attention. You cannot control who stays or who leaves, but you can control where you place your energy. You cannot control the storms that come. You can control where you anchor your heart. If you choose to focus on the storm, you will sink. If you choose to focus on the anchor, you will stand. Too often we focus on proving ourselves to people who have already made up their minds. We waste energy chasing validation, trying to change opinions, trying to win back those who walked away. But the reality is their absence is already an answer. Their silence already told you the truth. Shifting your focus means no longer investing in people who cannot see your value. It means releasing what was never meant for you so you can embrace what is. Your focus shapes your future. If you fix your attention on failure, you'll live in fear. If you dwell on rejection, you'll live in insecurity. If you focus on growth, you'll rise. If you focus on resilience, you'll heal. If you focus on gratitude, you'll find joy even in the midst of sorrow. Your focus is the lens through which you experience life, and sometimes the problem is not the situation, it's the way you're looking at it. Let me tell you, sometimes we pray for answers, we ask for signs, we seek direction, but the answer has been in front of us the whole time. Shift your focus. Stop staring at what you cannot change and start focusing on what you can build. Stop replaying who left and start appreciating who remains. Stop feeding the memories that break you and start nurturing the vision that makes you. Shift your focus and watch your life shift with it. Even spiritually, Shifting focus is crucial. In seasons of loss, it's easy to fix your eyes on emptiness. But emptiness is not the end. It is the preparation for fullness. The absence you feel is only making room for abundance. If you keep staring at the loss, you'll miss the blessing hidden in it. If you shift your focus toward trust, faith, and hope, you will see that nothing that it left you diminished your destiny. In fact, it positions you for something greater. Shifting your focus also means changing how you see yourself. Too often we focus on our flaws, our failures, our insecurities. We highlight our weaknesses while ignoring our strengths. We replay our mistakes while overlooking our victories. No wonder we feel unworthy. Our focus is distorted, but if you begin to shift your attention toward your growth, your resilience, and your progress, you'll see that you are stronger than you realized. You are wiser than you were yesterday. You are not broken. You are becoming. The mind is powerful. What you magnify grows larger. If you magnify rejection, it will consume you. If you magnify betrayal, it will poison you. But if you magnify purpose, it will guide you. If you magnify hope, it will sustain you. If you magnify gratitude, it will fill you with peace. Shifting your focus doesn't change the past, but it changes how the past shapes you. It turns wounds into wisdom, pain into purpose, and endings into beginnings. Sometimes we resist shifting our focus because it feels like letting go, and letting go is hard. We hold on to memories, to people, to dreams that no longer serve us. But if you keep staring at what was, you'll never see what can be. Shifting your focus is not about forgetting. It's about releasing. It's about saying, I honor what it was. I refuse to let it keep me from what will be. So today, choose to shift your focus. Don't waste another moment replaying who didn't stay. Don't keep your eyes locked on closed doors. Don't let your attention be consumed by what you cannot control. Instead, focus on growth, on healing, gratitude, on the beauty of what remains and the promise of what's ahead. Pain is something every soul encounters. No one escapes it. Pain comes in different forms: loss, rejection, betrayal, failure, heartbreak, disappointment. It shows up uninvited, sits heavy in the heart, often lingers longer than we want it to. For many, pain feels like punishment. It feels like life has turned cruel or like God has turned silent. Let me tell you something today. Pain is not meaningless. Pain is not random. Pain is not wasted. Pain has purpose. When pain strikes, first question is always why. Why did this happen? Why me? Why now? And while those questions echo in the dark, answers rarely come as quickly as we want them to. But what if the purpose of pain is not to give you immediate answers, to shape you into someone who can handle the answers later? Pain refines, pain transforms. Pain builds strength in places you didn't know were weak. Think of a diamond. It is nothing more than a piece of carbon until it goes through pressure, until it endures weight, until it withstands heat. Only then does it become precious, valuable, and unbreakable. The same is true of you. Without pressure, without trials, without pain, the strength that lies within you would remain hidden. Pain is the process that brings it to the surface. Yes, pain hurts. It can bring you to your knees. It can make you cry in the silence of the night. It can make you feel like you are breaking. What you don't see in that moment is that you are not breaking, you are becoming. You are not being destroyed. You are being developed. Pain is chiseling away at the unnecessary, cutting off what no longer serves you and molding you into the person you were always meant to be. Sometimes pain is the only thing that gets our attention. Comfort makes us complacent, ease makes us stagnant, and joy makes us forget to grow. But pain awakens us. Pain makes us reevaluate. It makes us reflect. It makes us change. Pain pushes us to leave places we should have left long ago, to let go of people who were never meant for us, to step into paths we were too afraid to take. Pain becomes the alarm clock that shakes us awake and whispers, "There's more for you than this." And yet, we often curse the very thing that is shaping us. We cry over who left. Their absence was making room for better. We grieve the job we lost, but that job's end was pushing us into our true calling. We weep over the betrayal. That betrayal revealed the truth and protected us from future destruction. Pain doesn't come to ruin us. It comes to redirect us. Its purpose is hidden in the moment, but revealed in time. Pain also teaches empathy. Until you've walked through the fire, you cannot understand the heat. Until you've wept in the night, you cannot comfort another's tears. Until you've been rejected, you cannot truly love someone who feels unwanted. Your pain equips you to carry someone else. It turns your wounds into wisdom, your struggles into strength, your tears into testimony. Pain gives you the ability to say, I know what that feels like, but I also know you can survive it. Think about your life for a moment. Look back at the seasons of pain you thought would destroy you. At the time, you couldn't see the purpose. But now you can look back and say, if I hadn't gone through that, I wouldn't have grown. If I hadn't been broken there, I wouldn't be strong here. If I hadn't been rejected then, I wouldn't have found this path now. What once felt like punishment now, looks like preparation. What once felt like the end now looks like the beginning. The danger is letting pain make you bitter instead of better. Pain can harden your heart if you let it. Pain can make you close yourself off, distrust everyone, and shut down your spirit. But pain doesn't come to destroy your capacity for love. It comes to deepen it. The choice is yours. You can let pain imprison you. You can let it empower you. You can let it close you off. Or you can let it open you up. You can let it make you resentful. You can let it make you resilient. When you realize pain has purpose, you stop asking, why me? And start declaring, watch me. Watch me rise from this. Watch me heal from this. Watch me grow through this. Because pain may have shaken me, but it did not stop me. Pain may have scared me, but it did not silence me. Pain may have wounded me, but it did not win. And let me tell you this, some of the greatest blessings in your life will come from the deepest pain you endure. That heartbreak may push into discovering your worth. That rejection may push you into opportunities you never dreamed of. That loss may push you into gratitude for what remains. That betrayal may push you closer to the one who never leaves. What the enemy meant to harm you, pain will turn into your testimony. Even spiritually, pain is never wasted. Every tear you've cried, every sleepless night, every unanswered question, it's all being used. Pain plants seeds of strength that will bloom in the future. Pain digs wells of depth in your soul so that when joy comes, it doesn't just touch the surface, it overflows. Pain stretches your faith, grows your patience, and builds your resilience. The very thing that felt like it was killing you is actually cultivating you. So the next time pain enters your life, don't despise it. Feel it, yes. Cry if you must. Break if you must. But then rise with the understanding that this pain is not pointless. This pain is not permanent. This pain is shaping you, strengthening you, and preparing you. Pain may be your greatest teacher. Pain may be your fiercest trainer. Pain may be your hardest companion. But in the end, pain will reveal a version of you that you never knew existed. A stronger you, a wiser you, a more resilient you. Don't let the pain fool you into thinking you're defeated. Don't let the hurt convince you that life is over. Don't let the wounds silence your hope. Remember this truth, pain always comes with a purpose. And when the purpose is revealed, you will look back and say, hey, it was painful, but it was necessary. It was heavy, but it was worth it. It broke me, but it also built me. So walk through the pain with your head lifted. Carry your scars like medals of honor. And never forget, pain may visit you, but it is not here to destroy you. It is here to shape you, strengthen you, and set you free.